Finally! Finally! It took... Okay, third time's the charm. My modem... So, my family's currently going through reconstruction, with house stuff, and we're putting in more electricity stuff. So, a bunch of things were messed with, and somehow the internet got involved and got all wonky. I figured it out. I figured out the problem. It wasn't the modem. It was the outlet that the modem was connected to. And I don't know how that works. But currently, I have an extension cord going into a different power outlet. And it's working. And it's just so exciting. I'll just repeat this. I'll pretend this is the first year. Plan, beat the chapters. Let's do this. So you finally arrived, young prince. I have been waiting for you. Yes, I have waited, and I am ready to strike. Once you are dead, this world is mine. Hee hee hee, and I need not fear Medius at all. With Falchion and Hulu in my grasp, none can oppose me, not even that dragon. You have journeyed far just to meet me in combat, but can you find the real me? If you cannot, Falchion will never be yours. Once again, I quite literally don't know what you guys could hear from the last stream, considering that wasn't working. So, I think this one is working. It better be. But basically, there's a bunch of copies of Garneth around with Swarm. And there's one real Garneth who has Hulu right here. This Garneth also, I believe, has Falchion on him. So, the goal of the chapter is still the same. We need to get to this seize point and seize. But we also need to kill this Garneth right here so that Marth can get Falchion to defeat the final boss. Of course, looking at the chapter itself, it doesn't look like there's really any places for reinforcements to spawn around. Meaning that the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to go over to this convoy and just prepare for the final two battles. Because that's all I really need to worry about. So, for Marth, it's pretty obvious. He has Vulnerary on him, which should help out a little bit if he needs it. Pure Water for any mages. Once he gets Falchion, he can actually use Falchion to heal, so he won't need the Vulnerays after that. And then he's also taking a Warp Staff. I'm giving Marth a Warp Staff because I want to try and get to the final boss room as soon as possible with him. Just to make it an easier experience, especially since there's basically no one left. There's only 9 people alive. So, getting over to that final boss really quickly will help out. And I don't know, considering that you can't decide where exactly unit placement goes, I don't know where other bishops will spawn for that final map. Meaning that if I have Marth wielding the Warp Staff, whatever bishop is close enough to him will be able to get it, and then Marth can warp in and defeat the enemies in the final chamber. So that should be the plan. As for this map, all of the enemies, if they try and fight me, we can just defeat them with the giant group. All we have to really worry about is Garneth and his Illusions, which should be pretty easy to take care of with Starlight on land. So that's the plan. I'm gonna be eating a lot as well during this stream because I got food and it's very good. I got Casey's Pizza. Casey's Pizza is the best. Hi, Balloon Pants. Is that Whale Lady? I love Whale Lady. Whale Lady is great. Go Whale Lady. Go Whale Lady. Okay. Now he can go over here. Okay. Wendell. Cover Pure Water, Elfire. I'd say that's pretty good. Maybe the only thing is, Vulnerary or, he shouldn't need a Thunder Tome. Well, he has one. Oh, duh, I can just store it again. Yeah, that 53,000 gold. Casey's, no it doesn't. Casey's is the best pizza place of all time. And I will not have you slandering it. If you don't like Casey's, you're not Midwestern. I said it. In fact, if you don't like Casey's, you're British. Enough said. I'll just give it another Pure Water, and if someone needs it, then they can take it from him. It really sucks. I could have used that barrier staff, but Boa died with it. Meaning that no barrier staff for me. Oh, I got sausage and pepperoni pizza. It's very good. Since we're on the final boss, I guess I could talk about final bosses in Fire Emblem. I don't know all of them, obviously. Well, I know what the final bosses of each game are, but I don't fully know how exactly the maps for them work all together. Like, I know the final boss for something like Fire Emblem 4, Fire Emblem 5, and Fire Emblem 9, but I don't know what the maps are for those, so I won't really talk about them. But overall, I'd say the best thing to do for a final boss map is to have a good experience showing the player exactly what they have learned throughout the game and using those strategies to fully win while still having an enjoyable final boss fight. I'd say Fire Emblem 1 and Fire Emblem 3 are actually kind of bad examples when it comes to final bosses. Medius in both games and the remakes 11 and 12 can't really be damaged by anyone other than Marth, and the actual way those final boss chambers work... Actually, what do you have before I go into the convoy? The way the final bosses work in those games as well, you can only damage them with Marth. Fire Emblem 1 is a bit better because there's still enemies all around that your other units can take on and try and kill to make your way to the final boss, so I think that's good. But Medius himself, I'd say, is a pretty bad final boss for this game, because I really feel like if you're doing a final boss, a lot more than just your main character should be able to take them on in combat. Or if only your main character can take them on, have an enjoyable lead up to that final boss. And I don't feel like the enemies for Fire Emblem 1 and its 2 remakes do a very good job of that from what I've personally seen. I think similar story to Fire Emblem 3, but honestly kind of worse. The good news with that final boss is, you know, the enemies that surround it are dragons, which are a lot more intimidating to take on, in my opinion, and can make for a lot more of an interesting experience. But then a lot of the dragons that you face are actually just outright killed by the Fire Emblem itself. So it's really hard to say. I don't feel like it's really a challenge when it comes to the other people around. It's more just wait for them all to get disintegrated by the Fire Emblem, recruit the 4 maidens, and then defeat the final boss with Marth and Tiki. 2 and 15, Guiding and Echoes. This might be personal bias. It definitely is probably at least a bit of personal bias, but I think that Duma as a final boss is very, very well done. It's kind of a similar story to Medius, but the fact that the only person who can really damage Duma is Alm, but I actually think that's okay in this case because the lead up to the final boss is a lot more interesting. The characters that you face off in that final battle are quite a few of the bosses that you face throughout the adventure, which makes it fun because you get to see all of those bosses again that have now been revived by Duma. You still have Jeddah, who's the Garnoth of that game, who's also in that final boss room for you to take on, so in a way there's kind of 2 final bosses. And then Duma himself can also be damaged by Nosferatu, meaning that some of your other units can technically do something, even if it's not that much. 6 movement. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Also, I just feel like the atmosphere helps out at least a little bit for that game. Twilight of the Gods, amazing song. The environment you're in, Duma's Tower, looks very, very cool. All of that kind of stuff. It makes for a very enjoyable final boss for me. Fire Emblem 6, probably one of the worst final bosses in the series. You'll see it eventually, obviously, because I'm gonna play Fire Emblem 6, but the final boss of that game is so easy that Roy can one-round her mainly because of how strong his weapon is, along with the fact that she just kind of sucks as a unit. But I feel like one of the main reasons for that is because really the final boss of that game is Zephiel, who I feel is a lot harder to take down. Well, Idun is more of just like conclusion to it. Fire Emblem 7, I probably have the same thoughts I do as 2 and 15, where the final boss itself I don't really like, but the rest of the stuff makes it a lot of fun. Where that game you just fight a single dragon, which kind of sucks because the only weapons that can do damage are, or do effective damage, are Durandal and Armads, which only 2 people can wield for each weapon. But you are able to do at least a bit of damage with other characters. Oh, and I guess the old dude who you get can also damage. Oh! My god, crit! Yay! Overall, though, I feel like I have similar points for a lot of the final bosses, where, if you have an enjoyable experience leading up to it, I feel like that can do a lot to help the final boss stick out in your mind and make it a better challenge overall than what you can expect, if that makes any sense. Okay, 7 damage. 3 Houses definitely did a step up. I'm actually complimenting 3 Houses for once. This is a change. I think 3 Houses did a good job in the category of final bosses, where I feel like each of them stands out in a different way, and usually it's mostly positives. Where the worst one I would say is still probably the Crimson Flower route, because you feel very underleveled, in my opinion, for that final boss. The actual terrain you're standing on is hard to deal with, and there's just a bunch of other factors at play that really don't help it to be that fun of a challenge. The final boss itself, though, I feel like is very good and makes sense for that game. Blue Lions, amazing. Not too many nodes. I guess the main node is just, sucks that the final boss is only 1 tile, and sometimes when you get damaged by specific things, it's annoying to deal with. Good job, Nomar. That was Samson. Shoot, they look the same. Good job, Samson. What else is there? Oh, Silver Snow route for 3 Houses. Basically same thoughts as Crimson Flower. Just got rid of the thing about being underleveled and the thing about the overall terrain. And I basically have the same thoughts, which makes sense considering that it's basically the same final boss for both of those routes. Okay, Pala. I might have Pala try and kill this. Ooh, 14. Actually, she might not be able to. 15 speed is a lot, but she has 20 speed and she couldn't double. And I don't know if Pal will be able to reach. Both of her weapons are silver as well. So, that dude's just gonna have to stay alive. Engage might be one of my favorite final bosses in the series. Ooh! Good job, Wendell. Engage's final boss does a good job of giving you the elements that you've learned throughout the gameplay of that game. You get some interesting little parts throughout it. I think Sombron is pretty cool. I like the fact that there's multiple phases, kind of. And they maintain the recovery stones from 3 Houses, which is probably one of my absolute favorite features that 3 Houses added. The idea of doing the recovery stones to have multiple health bars made bosses so much nicer to challenge. They made them a bit more difficult, obviously, but I like them more. Okay, Pala can take Javelin, and either Vulnerary or Pure Water. I'll give her Vulnerary. Okay. This does fire. I believe that does 5 damage. Yeah, 5 double 10. So whoever it hits should survive unless he gets a crit. So let's hope Sheeta doesn't get crit. They're going after Mars. Cheetah's fine. Okay. So, there's only 5 versions of Garnet. 1 real and 4 illusions. So I think, considering the 12 uses of Starlight, should be pretty easy to take them down. Basically just need to hope that the double on each of them will kill. Which... oh, never mind. That's just a regular bishop. So I guess there's only 3 illusions of Garnet. That's even easier. Thief over there. It seems like this strategy is working pretty well. Okay, Shooter come down here. Killing Edge has more accuracy, I believe, so she should be able to get the kill with that. Maybe even get a crit. No kill. Maybe a crit, please. Would be pretty nice. Yay! Go Sheeta! Oh shoot, I got pizza sauce on my white shorts. I should not eat pizza while I'm wearing white shorts. That's a terrible idea. It's too late now. They're already dirty. Why not get them more dirty? It should be fine. Paul's good. Mark's good. Wendell's good. Okay, these 5 are good. Navarre should at least get another sword. Actually, he might be able to reach. Again. Take... I'm gonna give him the silver sword. Probably best accuracy, best damage out of the swords in that convoy. It should be good. So then all that's left is the dragons, which really just need, like, to take the vulneraries and pure waters. And maybe it's stat boosting items, and they could just give those over to Mark. Big boy, this is a very important question, because I'm going back to this topic of Casey's. What do you think is the best pizza place? Because Casey's slaps, and you're not American. You're not Midwestern. You're not American. You're nothing if you don't like Casey's. So tell me, what do you like more? What the fuck is Driftwood in? Also, I hope I could say that word on Twitch. Pizza Hut? No. No. Pizza Hut? I'm judging you. You've been judged. I mean, Pizza Hut is good, but Greece? Also, it's Greece, like the country. What do you mean, Greece? There's no grease on Casey's pizza. I think. You're crazy. But I'm also crazy. So it works. Good job. Keep moving. Oh shoot, the sniper's coming. That might be a problem. Wait, did reinforcements spawn? Wait. Where, where did they come from? Huh? Reinforcement spawned. That's not good. It'll be okay. It's okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. Bantu got what you need. I can't believe Bantu is still alive. I mean, I guess I did sacrifice a few people to keep him alive so he can get Tiki. Because I thought that Tiki was going to be a good unit, and then it kind of isn't. I guess I could take the Geosphere. I still don't know what that does. Take the manual. Give that to someone. And I'll give him Swarm. He can get Swarm even though he can't use it. Go Bantu. Okay, as for these guys, everyone coming in, and Sheila to go back at least, because she's definitely a little bit of health. Cover staff. Okay. Shoot. Just gonna need to bring everyone back so that no one can get too hurt. Okay, Olganon, 6 movement. I'm just gonna keep moving everyone back, and then next turn they can go in and kill these people. Volcanon's gonna do a lot of damage, but I don't think it can double because of its weight. But Link needs to save her Starlight uses, and there's only 6 uses left of Aura. And then there's still the Sniper and Hero, which I think honestly might be more scary than the Mage, because the Hero could double people and the Sniper could kill the Flyers. They made a conga line to get killed. Isn't that nice? Okay. So, start with Sheeta. 20 speed. Silver Bow, 17 speed. Silver Lance should be able to get the kill, hopefully. So she can kill this sniper. Please, Sheeta. You can do it. Or maybe not. Damn it! Okay. So instead, Navarre's gonna need to get the kill. I think Marth will be able to just take down the mage by himself. So then everyone else can focus on getting the hero. Awesome. Um, 16 speed. Marth Rapier should be able to do this. Volcanon's weight should wear it down. Oh no! Oh no, indeed. Okay. Okay, Lind cannot reach. Meaning that... Wendell? You can do it. Just get at least one hit. Okay. rather kill the mage if this is what's gonna happen. Oh. Well, if I knew you were gonna quit. If I knew you were gonna crit, I would have just sent you to the hero. Guess it's too late for that. Tiki, come up here, defend Wendell with your life. If Wendell dies, I'm gonna cry. I just sent... Oh no. This might not be good. I might have done something dumb. Let's find out. Oh, never mind. He got a crit and did 6 damage. I love 20 defense Marth. Personally, I really feel like getting a crit that's as low damage as that, like a 3 damage or 6 damage crit, is way funnier to me than getting a no damage crit. Because it's like you actually get to do damage, but it's basically nothing. Okay. Navarre, kill. Please. Good job. Why is your attack stat, like, you're doing insane damage. 18, that's why. What sheet is 12? Oh. 16. Marth would probably be doing a lot more damage if the rapier didn't have only 5 might. Marth needs a bit of healing. So, I'm a bit confused on these reinforcements, because it seemed like they came in, but they only come for 1 turn, I guess? I mean, usually, it's that, I guess Marth's wielding a 4th thing. Oh yeah, vulnerability, pure water, warp staff. I feel like it's usually, no, reinforcements come in and they're usually there for a while. Like, they keep respawning. That's how a lot of people have died, actually. But I guess these guys only appear for 1 turn. It's kind of nice. I'm guessing 6 movement, 7. 7. So Sheeta should basically just stay here. Actually, go a bit lower, just in case. She should be fine. Everyone's fine. No one's dead. No one's going to die. Just go right here. And we're okay. Honestly, honestly, I can't wait to finish this game for one other reason. Being the fact that this has been the only game that I've played for about 2 weeks. Mainly because I go to work, I go home, do what I need to do, and then I play this. So, I'm a bit excited to move on to a different game. It's gonna be nice to have more than just black, red, green, and white as colors. Did I say black or blue? I guess black, blue, red, green, and white as colors. Okay. Sniper should come down and try and attack Marth, which is good. Can also... Actually, no, I don't want to send Tiki fully in. Then these guys can keep on waiting. Just need to bait the sniper out. But get out here and die. 1 damage. Marth should be fine. If the thief attacks, probably can't even do any damage to Marth, and the mage is too far away to do any damage. Good job, Marth. And we can start bringing everyone else over. Considering last chapter, by the way, I've been looking up the chapters a little bit as I go, just to see what's ahead, mainly for unit recruitment purposes, because I want to try and see all of the characters at least. But then I've been looking at the chapters in a bit more detail after I finish them up, to find out some other information about them. Last chapter, the reinforcements that started to spawn from the forts, I looked it up. The website that I've been using to look at the chapters and what's on them and everything claimed that the reinforcements would stop on turn 50, meaning that the only way to really stop all of those reinforcements was to either beat the chapter how I did by warping in there, 1. 2, trying to get through all of those reinforcements that will spawn until turn 50 and hope for the best that no one dies. Or number 3, wait 50 turns and deal with an onslaught of about 6 enemies coming in every single turn for like 30 turns. No thanks. I don't want to do that. Oh, a door key. That's actually very, very nice. And damn it. I'm too lazy to go back to the convoy. That's very, very nice, but I'm not gonna use it, I guess. Yeah, I looked it up. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit for 30 turns. I'd rather let all of my units die, because that's a bit more entertaining, if I'm being honest. Okay. Thoron is scary. Just gonna go back here. No Thoron for me, thank you. No more wire hangers. Down. I'm actually gonna have Navarre sit in instead of Marth. Still should only be one hit because of Navarre's speed. And Navarre should be able to get the kill with his Mav attack. Considering that Marth will get the falchion after this chapter, and it has unlimited uses, it doesn't break all of that stuff, but I still want to have Marth have a little bit of durability later on for this chapter, just in case. So, Navarre, have some fun. Actually, considering where the Thoron mage currently is, I might have him try and attack that dude instead. Maybe get the kill. It'd be pretty nice if that's the case. So, for 7 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he would be able to reach that dude. Just everyone else needs to kill these 2 mages. Sheeta probably won't get the double with the Silver Lance, so Killing Edge. Hope for a crit. Oh. She double, she'll get the kill. Good job, Sheeta. Yeah, Sheeta! Okay. Then... Samson, can you... Actually, can you... Can't reach that guy. Try and kill this mage. Please, Samson. Do it. Good job, Samson. See this right here? Cord could have been that if Cord didn't use axes. Don't use axes. It's probably my ultimate PSA for several Fire Emblem games is just don't use axes, because then you'll kind of suck. And then I'll put an asterisk and be like, unless you are on the continent of Tellius, which in that case, use as many axes as you want. Ooh! Once again, not necessary, but good job. So Navarre stopped getting attack, which makes me think that his level cap for that might be 18 strength. If that's the case, that's pretty nice that he was able to get it all the way up there. Okay, healer over there. Thief shouldn't be doing anything. Camden, I mean, you need to get all the way over to these chests, and I don't feel like getting those chests, because they probably are useless to me. Considering this point in the game, the only things that it could really be, I feel, are decent weapon, which I don't have that much of a need for. Promotion item, which all I need is a whip for Pala, who I'm not going to use that much. I'm just trying to keep her alive for the rest of this game. And money, which I really don't need because I have 50,000 gold that's going to go to waste. I guess Marth can use it to try and repair his kingdom. No, I feel like that would be kind of cool if one Fire Emblem game, they just randomly at the end threw something in like they did for Luigi's Mansion, where depending on how much gold you collected and then kept throughout the game, you get to see your castle build into something bigger. Personally, I feel like that would be a lot of fun to watch. I need to play Luigi's Mansion. I got it for the DS, but I've only played it for like an hour or so. So there are just a lot of games that are on my backlog that I need to complete, especially for the 3DS, because after it was announced that the eShop would be closed, I experienced a heavy amount of FOMO and bought a bunch of games. So, on the plus side, I have a 3DS with a lot of games, but on the downside, I don't know how many of those games I'm actually gonna get to in the future. I guess the other good part of that, though, was I decided to get all of the DLC for Awakening, Fates, and Echoes, which is okay. A lot of the DLC for those 3 games isn't really necessary. I would say I think Echoes had the best DLC of the 3, just because it added 4 new playable characters, which is always pretty nice. The extra DLC chapters that added are pretty fun, because they basically take place in the past, and you get access to 1 or 2 units that you couldn't get access to in the main story, which I think is very, very cool. And I don't know, they also added, the Overclass feature, which is hands down my favorite feature in any Fire Emblem DLC. So basically, it works with the promotion system of that game, where instead of using promotion items to upgrade classes, you get to a certain level with your class, and then you're allowed to promote at millistatues. So for overclassing, once you reach the level cap of 20 with your promoted class, so let's say, for example, you're in the Priestess class, which is the upgrade version of the female mage for that game, and you got to the level cap of 20, you can go into the Overclass Priestess DLC chapter and get access to the Overclass for the Priestess, and you get a brand new look, new animations, you get new spells that you can cast. It's so cool, and I absolutely love it. The main thing that sucks about them, though, is like they're each $2 or something, which does add up a bit considering the amount of classes in that game. I guess it's probably like $25 to $30, which, I mean, main game was what, $40? I'd say it's kind of not worth it to get all of them, just if you wanted to get 1 or 2 of them. Since I got the game almost at launch, though, which it released, like 6 years ago, I slowly accumulated them over time, which helped. I'd say Fates' DLC is probably in second for me. I'm not gonna count the Revelation route as DLC, because it is its own route, and I feel like just calling it DLC is really annoying. Even though it is, you can't get Revelation unless you either got the full special edition of Fates, which was like $100 or $120 or something like that, or unless you bought it for $20 from the eShop. So technically it is DLC, and now almost no one has access to it. But other than Revelation, there was the Heirs of Fate storyline, which was okay. I thought it was pretty fun. I haven't completed much of it, but it was a nice time. Get the Witch and Ballistician class, which are both pretty cool. I originally only got the classes because of the Gift from Anna DLC, because that was free and that's what I could get at the time. I have the maps for both of those to get as many promotion items for those classes as I want. But I would always go with the Witch. The Witch is much cooler than the Ballistician. The animations are fun. I like magic more. It just worked out. But then other than that, it's basically just the same thing as Awakening, where both Awakening and Fates, and also Echoes, got maps to grind money, maps to grind XP, maps to grind weapons. So, you got all of your basics. Of course, then there's also the fan service chapters, which I could play on stream. Would you guys want me to play the fan service DLC chapters on stream if I can either figure it out how to emulate it, or figure out how to buy 3DS capture card for my 3DS? Guys want to see the chapters where everyone goes to the beach and we get pictures of people at the beach? Because I don't care. Okay. That's just healer. So, okay to go up. Looks like all that's left is 4 Garneths. Yeah. All that's left is the 4 Garneths and 2 healers. So, we'll go ahead and bring people up. Basically just Lind. 28 HP. I don't know how much damage Inhulush can do, so it might be good to give her someone's pure water. And also, I think Cheeky still has the speed ring on her. So, Lynn's gonna get the speed ring to get her speed up so that it can lessen the chances of her getting doubled by Mhulu. She might as well just take the goddess icon as well. And then she can get someone's pure water. I'll just give her Sheeta's. That should work. Hopefully. Ooh, and we'll get to see the Tome animation for Starlight. That's always fun to watch. I love seeing the Tome animations. Okay. Marth. Come up here. At least kill the mage. I mean, not the mage, the healer. Dang, my class is confused. Wendell, make your way up. How far can Tiki go? 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, Lind. Go right here. And I'll just have her drop the vulnerary. And Tiki can get by the speed ring. Trade. Hopefully this will work. I'm just gonna leave Navarre and Bontu there. They're not gonna help with defeating Garneth. The only person that can help defeat Garneth is Lind. So. Okay. Lind, make your way up. How much does the speed ring give? Oh, 5! Awesome. 20 speed. That's very, very helpful. I don't remember how weight is calculated for this game, but whatever helps, helps. Okay, get the goddess icon. Should only need these guys up here. Woo! Nice. Oh. We have barrier. We have barrier. Yes! Thank you, random mage. Thank you. Okay, Wendell doesn't need that second pure water anymore. He can go ahead and take the barrier staff. That's so helpful. Okay. Honestly, I'm still gonna go ahead and give Lynch the pure water after using this goddess icon, because I want to know if pure water and barrier will stack, because if they can, that's extremely helpful. So trade Lynch the pure water and turn again. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Have fun. Okay. Lynch can come up a little bit. Equip Starlight. And then Wendell will use barrier. She'll use the pure water, and then she'll go after the first illusion of Garneth. And we'll see what happens. So staff. I forgot to trade a barrier. Oops. Okay. Barrier. Trade. Wendell. Okay. Then use. Okay. Up here. Use the pure water. Res became 7. They do not stack. That's good to know. Now, Lynch starts murdering the Garneths. Hopefully. Do it, Lynch! Shit. He'll be fine. Okay, now Lynch starts defeating the Garneths. That was a little awkward. And we get to see what Starlight looks like. Aw, well, wasn't that cute? I guess maybe it only really works on Impulu Garneth. Because how much defense do you have? 12 defense, 8 HP left. Sheeta will be able to take one swarm at least. And she should be able to double. Silverlance kill. Don't miss, Sheeta. You had one job. Don't miss this time. Okay. I'm sorry I yelled at you for missing. Okay. Lynch didn't don't get hit. Good. So we'll just keep going and get ready for the real Garnet. And this time, I won't send Wendell in accidentally and get him hit. Because if he does this time, he'll die. Okay. 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. Okay. Marth can come down here. Wendell. Barrier on Lind. Now, she can go after Garnet. Let's just come down here. There we go. You must not value your life very much. I will show you the true terror of the darkest of magic, Mhulu. Doesn't look that strong, dude. You didn't even hit. Awesome! Lind can double. That's great. So now, this turn, she should be able to kill. And we'll probably just end up getting rid of her pure water. Nice. Gah, Starlight, too powerful. I am undone. Know this, young prince. You may have the strength to best me, but Medius? Ha! I will await you in hell. How much experience was that? It doesn't matter. We got Falchion! Which basically means we won. Drop pure water. Okay. So, now that Garnet's defeated, kind of unceremoniously, if I'm being honest, just need to defeat the clones. Will be good. Okay. Considering that clone's down there, probably be best to send Lind in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, Marth can go right here. Wait. Lind has Starlight equipped. Can go ahead and trade over Falchion. And wait. Okay. That should work. Unless the illusion of Garnet that's on the throne moves, which people on the throne don't usually move, unless there's 2 of them. Okay. Good job, Lind. But now, how much HP? 18? Now it's time for Falchion. Get in here. Go, Marth. Ooh. Fancy. this Garneth. That's a very fun animation. I like it. That's not fun. Yay. Okay. Lynn? Come in here, get the kill with Starlight. Nice. Oh, a bishop's ring that I don't need. How wonderful. That was useless. And Garneth's chapter is done. 2 chapters left. Oh, Marth, I have missed you so. Look at how you've grown. Father would be so proud. Elise, I am glad to see you safe. After I heard that Garneth had taken you, I was so worried. Garneth kidnapped me to secure the spell of revival, that Godo gave me. There's a temple in southern Dolar where the staff can be used to revive an ally. If there is one precious to you who has lost their life, let's travel to Dolar and revive them. So yeah, that is the big thing that happens for this next chapter. You get, Elise comes with the Ohm staff, and when used on that blue throne right down there, ally who died can be revived. Dolar, a land veiled in mystery, the kingdom of Manichetes. Our story began with the revival of Medius, the Earth Dragon, here in this realm. The land of Arcanea has a long history of war, of tragic tales that are born and then fade. As time passes on, Medius' ambition for a world controlled by Manichetes is threatened. Martha and his army at last draw near to the end of their long march. Here's the thing though. Looking at this entire map, we have to go all the way around here to get to the throne. And on top of that, we have to deal with possible reinforcements most likely coming from these areas. Or we don't need an ally revived, and we can just use the warp staff. So welcome to the strategy of this map. This is why I like to call Falchion is effective against dragons. Or maybe it's not effective against Manichetes and it's just effective against that dude. Martha will be fine. Dang it. I mean, if needed, we have Katra. Let's see, what's in the shop? Heal, mend, recover. Don't need those. And in here, there is nah. Marth will be fine. Go, Marth. Good job. Okay. Just keep going. So obviously it is a little scary that we have all these people who are very close to surrounding Marth. The good news about the falchion is that it can also be used as a healing item. Basically, it's an infinite use, 10 might, effective against basically only the final boss weapon. So, it's good. Kind of waiting for it to be great though. Might as well just go ahead and use. Yay. Okay. Just keep going, Marth. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. This is really weird though. A falchion should be effective against Manicheets, but I guess it's not. Huh. Or maybe it is, and it's just that their defense is high enough to ignore that. But then I don't feel like that makes too much sense because the rapier, which is effective against armored and cavalry, was doing an insane amount of damage to them, and they have similar amount of defense. A similar amount of defense. So, I don't know. Well, he'll be fine. This dude. Just keep going, Marth. Dang it. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay. Just keep on going, Marth. Good job. Okay. It's probably gonna get attacked a whole bunch, so... Actually... No, it wouldn't work because of the snipers. I was gonna say that Sheeta could kill the boss, but she can't. She doesn't have a javelin. Unless... I think Pala has a javelin on her. It would basically be a suicide bomb though, because if Sheeta misses or can't do enough damage to kill the boss with the javelin, she will die. Which is a problem. I don't want Sheeta to die.
My main worry right now isn't even Marth, because Marth is doing fine. Or at least, it's not the enemies that are currently attacking Marth, it's the mages. Because if their weapons are powerful enough, they could easily chip down Marth so much more than all of these other enemies. So... Oh, Blizzard? And Fire. Oh. What, that's only 12 damage? 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hiding the 12. From here, 22. 3, 4, 5. Oh. Okay. We will just use Falchion. And then Marth can just keep chipping down the boss. Because the amount he heals from the castle shouldn't be too much. Yeah. Instead if Marth gets a crit. That's only if Marth gets a crit, though. Okay. Okay. Fortified staff. That does not help. Does not help at all. Okay. So this dude, I think, is dead if Marth hits. Okay. Actually, that might be good. Well, I guess that dude can't do any damage anyways, but Marth can kill the boss on this turn, and then he should be able to survive all of these hits as long as no one gets a crit. Boss is at what? 11. Okay, he won't be able to kill the boss on this turn unless he gets a crit. So let's see what happens. Come on, Marth. It really sucks that Marth doesn't... It seems that Marth doesn't get a special animation for a crit with Falchion. That's weird. I mean, he gets a crit animation with Rapier, but I guess Falchion already has its own special animation, which is pretty nice, but I feel like it could be a lot nicer if Falchion itself had a special crit animation. They're fun to see. Dang it, Marth! Okay. That healer is very annoying. Why are y'all leaving? It's fine. It'll be fine. Just keep going, Marth. Okay. that might be a problem. That sniper is starting to cross the mountains, and so is that mage. I don't want my people to die. Oh, and Sheeta and Pella are right in the front. Get back. Not that far. Just a bit far. Also, I guess I never looked at Elise. Wow, she sucks. I guess it makes sense, she is a cleric, but... For being the sister of the main character of this game, she really got nothing going for her. I guess other than the own staff. The own staff is nice to have. Okay. 27.44 should be okay to attack. Just come on, Marth. Just get at least one crit. For me, please. Okay. Okay. Damn. Okay. He's almost back to full HP already. Might have been a bad idea for Marth to warp in and try and defeat this boss. You know, it's like Miss Frizzle says, make mistakes, get messy. I think there was a third part to this, but I can't remember what the third part was. Oh, I didn't see. Thank you, Novala, for following. Sorry I didn't see that until just now. This is the greatest Fire Emblem gameplay of all time, I gotta say. Oh no! The treasure that I wasn't gonna get because I don't have a thief! Okay, Marth needs to heal. Can't really do anything else. This dude. Simpson. Okay. Simpson should be able to chip down. If he can't get the kill, then maybe Sheeta will be able to... Okay, Samson. Never mind, I'm not sending Sheeta in now. Lynn can't reach. Wendell can reach, but he'll be attacked back by the sniper. Please just get those crits. Please. Okay. Okay. let's see. Reinforcements are still most likely going to spawn from at least those two areas by the snipers. So we should look out for those. But I'm gonna guess it's just more Medicates, which Marth will be able to deal with really easily due to his high defense. And even though the falchion doesn't do effective damage, it doesn't look like, it still at least does a little bit of damage, which helps out. You know, it's times like these when I regret a lot of the decisions that I've made up to this point for this playthrough. And I think the main one is definitely Sheeta getting Gradivis and then using all of it in like the second chapter after getting it. Because, man, it would have been so useful to have in this moment. It's too late for that now. And so Marth is just gonna keep going. Oh no. Okay. You see Marth? You see that crit? So we're gonna do what just happened, but you're gonna do that to the boss. You got it? You can do it? I believe in you. Come on, Marth. Gary needs a new pair of sneakers. I think that's the quote. Dang it. But at least it's damage. It's still damage. Okay. Sniper is scary. Samson's gonna come up here. Sniper could easily attack these guys. So at least Pala and Sheeta are gonna stay back here, just in case. Bundle can heal up Samson with the recover staff. And we'll try and hope that the sniper goes after Tiki as bait. So that everyone else can come in and get the kill. Okay. You can do this, Marth. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. That helps out a lot. I think Fortify Healer might just heal a bunch of HP. Unless Fortify is out of uses, which it seems like it could be. But at the same time, I don't want to take my chances with that. Okay, Marth, you see that crit right there? You're gonna do that to the boss. Got it? Okay. No, Firestone doesn't matter. Firestone doesn't do damage. Ha. That's okay. I'm actually okay with the Firestone Dragon dodging because that means that the mages can't take its place. And since it does no damage to Marth, it works out very well. Because now Marth still has a whole bunch of HP, 27, and he can just focus on attacking this boss instead of healing. Which, 9 HP left. You've got this, Marth. Okay.
get at least another hit. Okay. I'll take it. Got another hit. That's what I asked for. Now then. As for the sniper. Navarre is getting in here and killing with a silver sword. Using the one silver sword use he has. He's gonna at least chip down. Good job. And then Sheeta can come over here. Killing Edge should be able to double. Get some chip damage. Crit could be a kill. Yep. Okay. So, that's what we need to worry about over there. Still have all of those guys. You know what? Considering Marth's still doing all of that, and Lynn doesn't have anything in her inventory right now, don't need the Bishop's Ring. She can go ahead and get at least some recover staffs from the shop, so she can use those. Same with the Leafs. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 HP. Come on, Marth. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. Damn. Okay, got it. Well, it doesn't seem like the Fortify healer is doing anything, so it should be okay if Marth heals right here. That's fine. Marth is doing fine. I will say, the nice thing about Falchion, I'm gonna say, con about Falchion, the fact that it doesn't do effective damage against dragons, it just does effective damage against metas. It kinda sucks. The good news about it is, I originally thought when I heard that it was a healing item, that would only do like 10 HP, maybe 20. The fact that it seems to fully recover HP, that's amazing. That's so nice to have, and it definitely helps out a lot. Oh well. Okay, reinforcements are starting now, it seems. Items, use Falchion. Good job. Lind, shop, get recover staff, and then she can actually go into the convoy and get one of the Thunder Tomes. At least you're gonna get recover. And since Navarre's almost out of uses, is out of uses of that silver sword, he can get something from the armory. And since Samson is basically out of uses of his silver sword, he can get something from the armory. Now, might as well start doing some of this stuff while we're over here. The worms. They should have given Marth the Worm Slayer. It's too late. It's too late now. Get it, Marth. Okay. Okay. That's good. You had... That's just mean. That's rude. Oh well. Good, he doesn't get the kill on this dude. Really? That's the wrong character to get crits. Marth needs to get the crits. Marth. Come over here. Potion. Kill this dude. Please. Okay. Please, Marth. Yes! Awesome! Okay. I'm gonna prioritize real quick. I'd rather Navarre get another weapon than Samson, because Samson has 2 weapons. Ooh, Navarre gets a killing edge. That's gonna be so nice. And Lind. Go into the convoy. No. Elise. Down here. Just get a bunch of recover staffs. That's all you can really do. Now, I suppose the question now is, will someone take the place of that mannequin on the castle? Yes. Huh. Marth, please just kill. That's not a lot of damage, Marth. Well, that's rude. Firestone finally realized that can't really do anything against. It's okay. Concerning the amount of damage, Sheeta couldn't reach, but she could reach next turn, and at least
possibly help get the kill. I think that's gonna be the plan. Sheeta's gonna go down there, hopefully get the kill with the killing edge on this mage during player phase, and then Marth can end the chapter and move on to the final boss. Hopefully. It's like a huge hopefully. Okay. Oh. Never mind, I guess there's a microphone for this game because they aired the strategy. Dang it. Crit, crit, crit. What do we do about this? Nothing. It's not really much you can do. Oh. Good for you, Marth. If it weren't for those two snipers, Sheeta at least would be down there helping. Okay, Marth, heal back up. And I suppose Navarre can come down here and try and help out somehow. But I don't know what you could do. Come on, Marth, dodge. Dang it. Dang it. Really? Okay. Damn. Okay. Honestly, at this point, I mean, he's getting close. He's, you know, chipping these guys down at least. But at this point, I'm starting to think about whether or not it was actually worth it to work Marth over here. Because this is probably taking the same amount of time as it would have taken to just beat this chapter normally. So... oh well. Ooh. She can also get a new killing edge while she's over here. That should help out a bit. Okay. Damn it! It's the Firestone one, though. That's good, at least. Okay. Marth can do this. Still a blizzard over here. Bolganon wants this dude to have fire. Okay. So, Navarre can come over here, get the killing edge ready to fight against this Manakee. Actually not go into the woods because of the terrain bonuses. She can get ready to get a new killing edge. Samson can go over here. Also help out. Sheeta go shop. Good. And Marth only lost 11 HP, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use Falchion just in case. Honestly, instead of using Falchion to heal next turn, I'm gonna just go ahead and have Marth use Pure Water, so that way the Blizzard won't be able to hit him at all. That should help out.
start with Navarre. Come back here. Killing Edge. Go Navarre! Oh, duh, they're Manicheets. Tiki's effective against them. I'm stupid. Okay. Blizzard shouldn't do anything now. Awesome. Now we win a bit more. Can't fully cross the mountains. This mage probably could get one, maybe two spaces. So we'll have Navarre back out a little bit. Or actually, he could just come up and then use pure water. Okay, Marth should still be okay, so I'll have him keep attacking the Firestone Mankey. Hopefully he should get the kill. Please, Marth. Okay. Awesome. So now it's probably time for the other Firestone Manakee, if I'm guessing correctly. Or at least Sheeta can come over here and help out a bit with these mages. Really? Boganon is going after me. Okay. Damn. That's kind of dumb. Why would they bring in the Firestone Dragon? Really? Oh well. Okay, Marth can just go ahead and heal. And since Rapier's almost out of uses, and in case there's any dragons that need to be dealt with before Marth can fully warp over to Medius, I actually also gotta bring Samson over here so that hopefully Samson can trade over the Wormslayer to Marth. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Sheeta should not come over here. That's in range of the sniper. Dang it. Good job, Marth. Not so good job, Marth. Not so good job, Marth. Come on, Marth. Dang it, Marth. Dang. Okay. Huh. The right eye seems fixated on Marth, which actually might be a good thing because it means that I could bring Navarre in and they'll just focus on trying to kill Marth and not Navarre. So I think I'm gonna end up doing that. It'll at least help out. Okay, never mind. Okay, Navarre. Awesome job. Good. So, Navarre, 46 out of 47. Absolutely. He's doing well. He should be able to kill this mage. Or at least ship him down. Okay. Samson can make his way down here, equip Wormslayer. So can Tiki. She keeps doing her thing. Marth, gonna go ahead and have him use Cure Water again. Should be okay. Okay. Got it. Stone. That'll be easy. Okay. Good job, Marth. That's not... I guess that's pretty good damage. If he can hit. 14. Okay. Just keep surviving, Marth. Okay. Far. Attack. Silver Sword. Better accuracy. Better chance of killing. Way better chance of killing. Awesome. Oh, Andy's level 20. Yay, Navarre. Samson can come around over here to use vulnerary. Tiki, keep doing whatever you're doing. Marth. Heal. Okay, here comes reinforcements. Okay. Samson will be okay. Awesome. Okay. Just a bit more worth. The council's open. Yes. Okay. Before we end, gonna go ahead and drop Rapier. Or actually, should we though? Samson's at 11 HP, so he's very, very close to death. I'm just gonna go ahead. We're gonna move on to the final chapter. Princeling, do not think you have yet won. Though you dare approach me, I will not surrender. You will bear witness to the true power of the Earth Dragons. Yes, come to me. I will cast you into the deepest pit of hell. Here we go, final chapter time. To make it this far, Marth, it is the measure of a true hero. Sage Godo, why have you come to this place? Men are foolish, and I had sworn to let the affairs of this world proceed without me. But watching your struggles, I came to think that perhaps I was too hasty in my judgment. I cannot defeat Medius on my own, but I will happily lay his minions to rest. Go forth, he who has been chosen by the goddess, Altea's Prince of Light. Cast the Shadow Dragon back into the darkness. Bury him in the earth he crawled out from. Here we are. Final chapter. And here's Medius. 12 defense does not sound like much. Until you factor in the fact that his stone, the Earth Stone, gives him plus 23 defense, meaning that he has 35 defense altogether. Which is, you know, quite a bit. Okay, Medicate with a Mage Stone. It's not very good. Of course, we also have Godo right here. It's pretty nice. Okay. Considering the Fortified Staff, he should be able to heal up Marth if he needs. And since Marth has the Warp Staff in his inventory, Wendell and Linda both have full things. So we'll go ahead, have Lynn go right here. She can drop Aura. We don't need it anymore. Marth will go ahead, trade over the Warp Staff to her. So then next turn, Marth can warp into that chamber. There's everyone else. Ooh, these guys are probably in trouble. Yeah, I don't really have anything for them to do. So they're kind of just gonna have to hide out and hope for the best. If Tiki's over here... Oh! So Bantu and Elise are probably dead. Is that a new song I hear? Finally. This is fun. I like it. Yeah, Bantu and Elise are dead. I don't want Sheeta to die, but it looks like she's going to die. Okay. Lind? You have one thing you need to do. Let's get Marth right over here. So now, Marth can start fighting this dragon that's protecting Medius, and then after this dragon, actually fight Medius. Wait, can you not do any damage? Oh no. We have Navarre for a reason. Navarre should be able to do some damage. And maybe so can Godo. Oh well, it'll be okay. Bantu's gonna die, so is Elise, so rest in peace to them. Tiki can try her best, but she's also probably dead. I think everyone is gonna die, if I'm being honest. Honestly, the only people that I can see surviving are the people that are gonna go into the final boss chamber. Yep. Rest in peace, Elise. Marth, you must prevail. Oh yeah, whole 5 damage. And now he's dead. Tiki. Oop. Wormslayer? Okay, so Tiki's probably dead. Man. Rest in peace, Tiki. Bon, I'm sorry. Man, everyone is just gonna die. That's decent damage. Okay. Go Samson. Let's see here. Godo has, 15 defense. Okay, Godo. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Godo up right over here so that he can start dealing damage to this mage. And then next turn, Navarre can also come in to help deal with the snipers. Godo, you can go ahead and use Thoron. Should do a lot of damage. Ineffective. So that's what the Mage Stone must do, is it gets rid of magic attacks, I guess? Huh. Okay. Oh, awesome. That's great. Sheena might survive. And Pala and Samson. Okay. That's okay. I'll just have Sheeta wait there. And Marth can start killing this sniper. We'll get Navarre over. He should be able to do damage with the Silver Sword. Maybe also the Killing Edge. But I think the Silver Sword is more likely to actually get the kill. No. No! Sheeta! Prince Mar. Oh. That sucks. Rest in peace, Sheeta. You certainly tried, but you're set for failure in that last part. Okay. So now, Lind will warp Nymphar over. He'll be able to do damage. Then Godo, go ahead and attack this sniper. Hopefully, maybe double. That could be nice. Awesome. Definitely helps. I should be able to get the kill if he hits. In all honesty, if Navarre can't do damage to this Mage Stone Dragon, this file chapter might not be beatable. So let's hope he can do something. But also, I don't want him to attack just yet because there's still the sniper over there and there's this wyvern. So I'd rather him just go ahead and attack this wyvern, see what happens, and then attack that dude. Up here, Samson and Peller's still alive, having to deal with this guy. Pella, what can you do? Probably not that much, but yeah, I think Pala and Six are also dead. Rest in peace to both of them, most likely. Rest in peace, Pala. I'm sorry. attack with Thor on. Oh, awesome. It's very, very helpful. Oh, we got it. Just store it. Can't really use it. Navarre, come down here. Please tell me you can do something. Awesome. He should be able to do damage. It's not a lot. It's better than nothing. That's a lot back. Okay. And Marth can kill the sniper. Okay. Then I have land Ward Wendell over here to protect against these guys, so that Navarre only has to deal with the Mage Dragon. Okay. Awesome. Who's still alive up here? Samson? Yeah, it doesn't look very good for you, Samson. If you get a killing edge crit, you survive. Maybe. Oh, he lives! Go Samson! There's a Worm Slayer that you can't use because you're trapped in there now. Have fun, Samson! Okay. Shit. I need to get Fortify on here. And also kill that dude. Most likely, rest in peace, Wendell. Rest in peace, Wendell. Four units left. Goto's gonna kill his healer next turn. But right now, I'd rather use Fortify so that Navarre can get some HP back, because he's gonna have to fight off quite a few people while also trying to kill this Manakee. Silver Lance, oh. You gotta be kidding me. Oh no.
Rest in peace, Navarre. Go to attack Medius? Please? Please? Damn it. I don't think it's possible. I think I need to rework my strategy and try again another day, because it seems the only way to kill this Manakee is with a Worm Slayer / really good luck. Bantu and Elise are dead, basically no matter what. Samson survived on sheer luck. All of these guys are dead, meaning that the only people who can really do anything are Marth, Navarre, and the 3 sages, or bishops. And I think the strategy of warping was the right one. We just needed at least Navarre to warp and get the Worm Slayer. So I think that's what needs to happen. Man, I was really hoping. I was really, really hoping to get the final boss tonight, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So, that's okay though. I can certainly try again another day, figure out what to do, but this time, it didn't happen. You know what? Real quick, I'll go ahead, I'll just try again doing the semi-new strategy of getting a Worm Slayer from the convoy at least. And we'll try that, see if anything can happen. But I don't know what else we can do. Navarre does 8 damage every round against the Mage Dragon. No one else can do damage to him except for Navarre that's in this little squad of people. Unless Starlight could do damage, except I don't think it could. I don't think that will work against Mage Dragons. I'm actually gonna look it up. So... Gates Magic. look like Starlight can do anything. So I'll just have Lind be the Warper still. Warp. Bantu and Elise are most likely dead. Rest in peace. Unless, what does the Geosphere do? It shakes the screen. Oh! That's so useful! Bantu needs to stay alive. Or at least Bantu needs to get at least 2 uses out of that. Okay. I had no idea what the Geosphere did. That's so... I'm very happy I saved that. Okay. This could work out extremely well. Here's the other question, though. Okay. So, Bantu, run all the way over here, use Geosphere again. Now, Lind has Warp, so she's gonna Warp Navarre up here, and still can't do... Still does 8 damage each round, but the added 18 damage of Geosphere will help out a lot with this whole thing. Okay. That's okay. Can't really do much with those. So, I guess Elise just needs to somehow protect Bantu a bit. And then Godo can go ahead and fortify. Then up here, the damage from that, 13 out of 36. So, Sheeta, come down here, Killing Edge, hopefully get the kill. This guy doubles her, doesn't he? Oh no! He doubles with the Silver Lance, but not the Killing Edge. Okay. It's good. Store that. And then Tiki can come down here, do with this dragon. Good job,
Tiki. I think Bantu is still dead, sadly. But maybe the Geosphere helped at least. Oh! I'd say Elise would feel that in the morning, but she definitely won't because she's dead. Dude gets the kill. Yeah, Worm Slayer, dead. Sucks. Dang it. Fortify. No. Oh, man. Okay. Here's the next part, for what I'm thinking. These guys got one use of Fortify. I don't want them to get a second one, so I'm killing them. Still got at least a bit of damage from the Geosphere, which should help out a whole bunch. And then Marth can warp in over here, stop that sniper from moving, and get the kill on the second Fortify Mage. Or Cleric, whatever. Yeah, only 15 HP. Fulsion. Okay. And then Godo can use Fortify. Pal and Samson are still alive. Tiki needs to deal with this dude. Oh, no damage. Okay. Oh well. And then we wait. Jeez, that's a lot of damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage. 45. That's good. Out of 36. 24 out of 45 means we're doing 8 damage, 4 damage a hit. 24. You need 6 uses of the silver sword. I believe, if my math is correct. Six uses without crits, but I don't know if there will be any crits, so we'll see. Good. He's doing well over here, distracting these enemies. Should bring in Goto or Wendell. I'm gonna bring in Wendell. Recover staff will help out a bunch with Navarre. And so will Barrier. Okay. Wait. That's okay. Awesome. That's great. That's not as good, but I'll take it. Okay. Wendell can come over here. Use Barrier on Navarre just in case. And now, Navarre can start attacking. Come on, Navarre. That's great. Okay. Now Lind can bring in this dude. Actually, since both Wendell and Goto are over here, I'm gonna have them stay on these steps in case of reinforcements. Still can't do anything against this dude, so he's just gonna wait while Navarre keeps attacking. Anyone gotta move? Oh no. Okay. That's so good. Okay. Okay. This might be possible.
we'll get Marth ready to attack Medius. Here we go. Let's fight Medius. Okay. 11 damage is good. Here to block any potential reinforcements, and then use a pure water in case 11 sword, dragon, and swarm mage attack. Rebels that dare disturb my repose, be consumed by the flames of hell. Okay, dude. Got this, Marth. So close. Okay. Player phase, we should be able to kill Medius. And it doesn't look like there's anyone who can really stand in our way to prevent it. So, I do wonder. Okay, this map is still a siege map. Got it. Okay. Marth, kill Medius. Woo! He's gone! Me, defeated, but humans, mere humans. Take this to heart, Altain Prince, inheritor of the light. One day, as long as wickedness dwells in the hearts of humans, I will rise anew. Never forget. As long as there is light, the darkness can never be extinguished. Medius is defeated. The Dolar Empire once again fades into darkness. After 3 long years of battle across Arcanea for Marth and his friends, light breaks upon the land, and the darkness recedes. And after a long journey, Marth can finally put down his sword. Prince Marth, your remarkable struggle has come to an end. You have saved us all. The cost of that victory, however, for you, it was far too much to bear. I am sorry. Princess Nina, it is my fault that Shia was killed, not yours. Do not apologize. I will not soon, no. As long as I do live, I will never forget her. It is as I suspected. Do not blame yourself. Perhaps for us, this victory could only come at the cost of those we loved. Sad as it may be, it is the fate the Fire Emblem has borne across generations. And the game is finished! And we get Star Wars style text scroll. The long war has ended. The darkness over the world has been dispelled. Marth and his companions are now victorious. But this is but one legend of Falchion, the Blade of Light. To arms, for the next adventure has already begun. That actually is true. Fire Emblem 2, aka Fire Emblem Gaiden, is a direct sequel to this game, quote unquote. Gaiden meaning side story. It takes place in a continent neighboring Arcanea that involves its own Falchion and its own story. But here's the cast. Marth, who's alive. Jagen's dead.
Sheeta's dead. Ogma's dead. Nina is technically alive because she never fought. Julian's dead, Lena's dead. Kane, Abel, Drog, Gordon, Rickers, Freeze, Ward, Gord, Barst, Caster, all dead. Merrick we didn't recruit. Daros, I believe, died. Harden, Wolf, Sedgar, Roche, Violent, Bontu, Caesar, Red, Lydia, Cadriel, all dead. George, Dolph, Marcella, Tomas, Boa, Aaron. Samson actually survived, and we didn't recruit Aaron. Beck is dead. Navarre survived. Wendell survived. Est wasn't recruited. Astrom died. So Mathis, Roger, Jake, Lorenz. Pella survived. Huh. Zane died. Maria died. Lind survived. Tiki survived. Minerva survived. Elise died. Goto survived. I believe we won with everyone but 7 people dead. Oh, and we get to see the turn counts. This is about to get a bit embarrassing. Probably. Okay, 14, 17. Okay. 30! 30 turns? Oh. That's a lot. Okay, 14. Getting better. Getting better. 21. Okay, so while the credits roll, I guess I should probably give my thoughts on this game. Overall, I do not recommend this game. I think that there are a lot of good things that came from this game. Fire Emblem as a series, obviously, it cannot be understated how important this game is to Fire Emblem as a series, because it's the first game. I think a lot of the elements that are in this game are very, very well done, and everything really just improves. 4 turns off from 420. Never mind, hate this game. Okay, but in all seriousness, I think it's a great game that has a lot going for it. I think it definitely helps that a lot of Fire Emblem games took what was made from this game and just worked on improving it instead of trying to change a lot of things about it. Of course, that can't really be said about Fire Emblem Gaiden, aka FE2, which is considered the black sheep of the Fire Emblem series. But, you know, there's still a lot of good elements. I think some of the cast of characters has some really good moments. I think that the combat overall is pretty good. I think the sprite designs and the overall graphics for this era of gaming are very well done, especially for a brand new series from a small team of developers inside Nintendo. So I would say all of that is amazing. Oh shoot. At Nia's request, he becomes the Archbishop of Arganea. People line up to hear his words. At least, oh no, we're about to see all of the people dying. Lorenz fell in battle at the Grusthold. Tiki, she loves to tell everyone how much she's grown. Aww, good for Tiki. Pella, her efforts to rebuild the kingdom of Macedon keep her quite busy. Well, yeah, she can't really do anything else. Everyone she knows and loves is dead. Or missing. Roger died. Mathis died. Okay, when it says, like, actual unit things, I'll read them. Oh, journeys from country to country seeking to uncover great truths. Good for you, Wendell. I still think this game does have faults, though. The fact that a lot of story moments you can't get, or both story, unit moment, like overall characters, the locations, information on those, the fact that you can't really get more in depth about them without using the actual game manual really sucks. Because there are a lot of interesting things that I feel like could be explored in this world that just aren't in this game, because a lot of it was just sent away to the manual. Oh, seals away the destructive power of Aura. Now she lives a quiet life. Aw. So, I think that's a very big problem. And then my second very big problem with this game has to be the fact that you don't fully know the actual weapon calculations for combat. Because one of the main things about Fire Emblem is that it is a strategy game. And the point of a strategy game is that you understand the information that you have in front of you. And the fact that you don't get concrete numbers about how exactly everything is working out, either in your favor or not in your favor, really, really hurts this game, in my opinion. It makes stuff like random crits a lot nicer and a lot worse. But just like regular combat, like, you don't really know fully what the accuracy is. You can just see a meter, and you don't really get a full number about what that meter means. Same with the attack stat, same with the defense stat, and it becomes, at the conclusion of it all, he vanishes. That's boring. Dang, Navarre should get more than that. At the end of the day, that really hurts the game for me, because I thrive on knowing the exact information at my hand, and not getting that causes really annoying moments for me that are really difficult to get through. Because, yes, there are still a lot of random character deaths from stuff like random crit chance, but the fact that I can't see exactly what that crit chance is, I don't like. And I think there are smaller things with this game that annoy me personally, but I feel like I shouldn't really mention those as like a con to this game. It's more just like, these things are in this game, you should know about them. Other Fire Emblem games improve on those systems, like healers not being able to get EXP, the limited amount of promotion items, the limited amount of character personalities, things like that, I think are really benefit other Fire Emblem games. I don't think it hurts this game, because, you know, this is their first time playing through figuring out this series. Marth, his days are spent busily rebuilding Althea. But I would be lying if I said that I had a bad time with this game. I originally went into this game with the question of, would I consider this the worst Fire Emblem game? And I think the answer is still yes. I still think that out of all of the games in the series, this is my least favorite that I have played, and my least favorite that I have beaten. Is it a bad game? No. It has faults, just like any other game. It has problems, but I'm still very happy that I played it, and I had a great time with what I played. So, with that, we'll move over to the tier list. And in my opinion, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and start with this. I have a D tier here. I'm actually gonna delete D tier, because I don't think any Fire Emblem game is lower than at least C tier. And my current argument for Fire Emblem 1 is between C tier and B tier overall. And I think overall part of me is leaning towards C, but I do want to know if anyone has any arguments before I definitively put it in C tier. I don't know if anyone does, but it's just my overall thoughts.
I think it's still a great game. I had fun with it. There's room for improvement, and I think all of these games do that improvement. So, I think this is where I'm putting it. But it was a great experience. I had so much fun getting to experience this game finally, really for the first time. I've had a lot of fun with streaming it. I actually have all of the VODs up on YouTube, and I plan on finishing them up and releasing them so that way if you caught this stream but weren't able to catch any of the other ones, you can see all of those there. And I should be back sometime soon with Fire Emblem Gaiden, which is very exciting. So I'll leave y'all with that. Thank you so much for watching. If you were here right at the beginning, thank you for watching throughout all of these streams. And if you just caught right at the end, thank you so much for being here at the end. So I'll see y'all later. Have a good night.